Hey, 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 welcome, my loves. Happy Tuesday. This is Jeannie Street, and you're listening to Angels Don't Lie, right here on KBJB Radio. How are you all tonight? I have had so many people that are calling saying they're not feeling well, they're run down, they've got this virus, and of course it's an epidemic here in the States with the flu. We have people that are dying from this virus. So we're going to have a little chat, a little convo about what you can do for prevention and for picking yourself up, when you find out that you have this, when you feel those symptoms. So I have some of that later on in the show. I also am going to be talking about what to do when you're feeling kind of blah, when you feel like maybe you're losing your shit and you don't know which direction you're going to go in. Did you catch that one, Casey?
I got it.
Those doldrums that come on this time of year. I mean, really, we can get in a pit anytime, but it is a well-known thing for winter for people to get into that seasonal kind of depression and also experience like a lack of energy or get burnt out, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your business, or maybe it's even your, personal work, whatever you're doing. So we're going to talk about some tips for you on how you can manage that. But let me start by giving you guys the number, because that's the most important thing. The most important thing of this show is making the connections and connecting you to spirit, whether that be your loved ones on the other side or the angel messages or guidance that you need to have the best life ever, because that's the point of Angels Don't Lie. So the number is 646-891-5252. So how are you doing over there, Casey?
I am doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm, knock on wood, I'm very good. And, I'm doing all my preventative stuff anyways, because it's the time of year when those viruses can really sneak in. So I like to, boost my immune.
I'm having some of the yummy immune tea. That will protect me.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yep. It's delicious. I love it.
Yeah, a good immune tea is always helpful. And there's so many great companies now that are making them, and you can buy them right at the grocery store, which I love. So you don't have to be an herbalist or know how to make these mixtures. You can just simply buy a tea that's pre-done for you.
I figured that out.
You're definitely going to want to look for... Sorry.
No,
what was that?
I went a little heavy on the cayenne, my first mixture.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you mix yours up yourself?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at Casey going, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You have transformed him. Wow. Tell me that you've been journaling.
Yes, I did one more journal entry, and I read chapter 5 and 6 in the book.
Wow.
That's where the angels are pointing me, and then I'm going to get back into the Goddess University. But I feel pushing towards the book and the let it go and healing the block. But I had a question for you tonight about it.
Oh, good. Well, I'd be happy to answer your question. And we are working on our next little launch that we're going to do. Well, kind of a launch gift that we're going to do for February. So that's coming up, and I'm pretty excited. So if you're not on my email list and you want to join, hop on over to jeanniestreet.com, or you can do it on Goddess University as well and join the email list so we can send you that information, because it's going to have a great freebie, and I'm really excited about it. I love to be able to gift really great information out. It's a lot of fun. Yep. So, hey, did you see? We have so many new people. I'm going to say but it's Angels Don't Lie is such a big group, and it belongs to all of us. But we have 10 new members, and I wanted to give a big shout out to all of the new members.
Wow,
which I'm really excited for. So, I know. Yes. So, Jess Harper, Kathy Gonzalez, Emmanuel. I'm going to totally ruin your last name, so I won't do it. Shannon. Andrea Brown, Carolyn. I won't do it because I'm going to mess up that last name too. Kim Harrington, Kristen, and Cassandra. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited that you guys have joined us. And I shared a little story inside of the Angels Don't Lie group with you guys for this baby Braedyn, prayers for Braedyn. And his grandmother, Cheryl, is in our group as well. And baby Braedyn was born with a very serious disorder. So he is in need of our prayers and surroundings to lift him up and his family for sure. So he just had surgery and it did go very well. But, he has a struggle ahead of him. So if we could keep Braedyn and his whole family in our prayers, I would really appreciate that. And I know his family will too. And I should say hello to our other lovely members who are always sharing and commenting, because I really appreciate that, and giving your time. So Gina, Rachel, Jen, Kathy, KJ, of course, you're always right on there. Trying to think if I'm forgetting somebody. I know she's going to text me. Yep, I did it. I did Kathy Slink. Thank you. So, I really appreciate you guys, and the more you comment, the more we can do some more fun things in there. Woohoo, fun! What else? What else are we going to talk about? Yeah, so, Casey, I wanted to ask you, have you ever, lost your energy, had that blah moment, like I said earlier when we started the show? I mean, it's different for guys, right? Yeah,
I don't really... No, I just go. Well, I mean, there are times, obviously, but I'm trying to figure out. Usually it's... I don't really have anything that I can relate to, anything recently, because things have been going pretty good.
Yeah, so I know, so it's totally different for men than it is for women. So I'm just curious, when you are working or when do you ever lose inspiration for, I don't know, your job or?
Well, sometimes I let the frustration of the little things get to me, where most of the times I'm just, oh yeah, no big deal, just having fun because I do like my job. But some days just the frustration of all the nonsense kind of catches up to you and it wells out, and you kind of strike out at somebody when you really wouldn't in the normal life. Right.
So then you get a little short, a little kind of agitated. Yep. Yeah. Hey, if anybody listening has something they want to add, I'd love to hear that from you guys. And you can call us 646-891-5252. And we're just going to talk a little bit about what it's like when you are losing your energy. So I can say it from a female perspective, when you are a mom and you're trying to take care of your family, you can really lose yourself and you can lose who you are, and that can be exhausting as well. And then when that kind of changes and your kids grow up and you have time for yourself, you can be lost in that too, not knowing what am I supposed to do, where am I supposed to go, what do I do with my hands? You just get so, stuck in being one thing. So how do you make your shift over to finding your passions and using them and using your talents? And I can't tell you how many women have said, I don't have any talent. And I used to be one of those women. I had no talent. And that's not a guy thing, right? Guys don't really say stuff like that, do they, Casey?
Not really. Usually we tend to, I guess it's the way we're brought up. We leave it bottled up or back, we don't talk about it.
Because it's not appropriate, or what is it? You just learn to not say anything.
That's pretty much it.
Just don't even you're not even connecting with it.
Right.
Or do you feel it at all, or do you just push it aside?
Push it aside.
I
don't know why.
So it still could be there. Just interesting. It's just interesting how we're built differently, right?
I never read the book, but I heard it was excellent. Was it Men Are From Mars, women are from Venus, or I might
Mars. Yeah.
I heard
that's
that was
an old timer.
That's going back. But I went to I saw and I can't think of the author's name, but I saw him do a presentation, and part of it was about that book, and it was very interesting. How we're wired so different.
Yeah, and I think I heard one speaker say pretty recently. She said, men live in their head, and women don't live in. Actually, I'm messing this all up. Forget it. I'm totally messing this up. I want to say it the right way, and I'm totally messing it up. How did it go? Men try to connect to us in our body, but we don't live there. And then women try to connect to men in their minds, and they don't live there. That's what it is. So we want to be having that intellectual conversation with you, but men aren't always in that intellectual state. They don't want to be there, and they want to connect to us in our bodies, and we aren't living in there. So that's where that gets like a really big
disconnect
trap. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So for women, and that's where I feel like I can speak to, we want to have that intellect, and we want to have those communication. We want to have those relationships with other people, but then we can be so emotional and so have these feelings that we don't always understand. And some of those feelings, just aren't ours, but they are just birthed out of trapped other feelings and trapped other emotions and picked up emotions. And so that's where the conflict comes from, which direction do I go in? What do I do? KJ is telling me to say a shout out to Trish. Oh yes, hi Trish, and to Debbie from Danbury. And also, if you have someone that you would like us to say a prayer for or hold in that sacred space, we would love to be able to do that and ask our listeners to join us, because we've talked about the power of prayer before in the show. The power of prayer, of reaching out and connecting to each other, is incredible. And you can move mountains this way. Bigger things can happen when we come together, instead of being divided. So it's really great stuff. So I did this Facebook Live yesterday. Our Monday Facebook Live, Carrie and I do our Angels World, and poor Carrie was home with the flu. She's been sick, and for her it goes right to right into the lungs. So I felt so bad, having the show without her, but we needed to do it because we didn't do it the week before. We didn't want to disappoint people, and it was so much fun. I love those lives. I love being able to connect to you guys almost like face to face, even though I'm not really seeing your face. I'm seeing your profile picture, but it's really nice to be able to have a conversation. I'd love to be able to do more of those, and I think we're going to keep doing them. Angels World, right here. Actually, it's not right here. It's on Facebook, but
you can always catch the replay too if you don't catch it live.
Yeah, and that's funny because people will comment on those videos and think that we're still on when we're not live. So I know it's confusing, right? It's very confusing, those Facebook Lives for people. So they only are as long as they're only live when we're on there, and then when you are not on there, I don't know if the little live button goes away or if it just says was live. I'm not really sure what it says once you go off, but it looks like you're still on there, but you're not. And so people are looking for more card readings and stuff. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. All right, so what should we talk about now, Casey?
Let's talk to this caller that just called in.
Now?
You want to talk to this caller that just called in?
All right.
All right, hold on.
I do want to talk to this caller.
Let me bring him on. Okay.
Hi, this is Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi. It's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Is this Kathy Slink?
No.
No, somebody Kathy different. Oh, okay. Oh, you're just the new one in the group. How are you?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be able to get you online.
Yay! How can I help you tonight?
I was wondering if I had any messages from my angels or some sort of guidance with my marriage.
Sure. And okay, so what is rocky? Is that where you live? Are you round rocks, like literally?
No.
Okay. I don't know what the rocky is. Rocky. Is that the marriage?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Is that like, so it's funny how they showing me this, like, I thought you were like literally like near rocks, walking on rocks, but is that what you're feeling, like uneven, unsteady?
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense. And that's where it's in the pit of my stomach. Like I feel like you don't even like know what to say anymore. Like I feel like this almost like a sick feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a complete disconnect.
Absolutely.
Okay. And he's out of the marriage in his mind as well.
Is he?
I'm asking.
Probably.
That's what I'm seeing. Like I don't even feel like there's communication skills going on anymore.
There isn't.
But this is a long marriage. Like I feel like it's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
20 years.
Yeah, they're showing me 2 decades. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you're craving that fresh start.
Mhm.
And you understand that there's a male figure that comes forward, and I'm feeling more like a grandfather. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And he's showing me his eyes, the eyes. I don't know why he's referencing his eyes. Do you understand that?
No.
So he's staying around the eyes, and the eyes, he's showing me glasses. He's also showing me, like, I feel like he watched you. Was he at your wedding? Like he saw? Like I saw?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's just his way of connecting and let me know who he is.
Okay. Could be my uncle.
And he also is showing me like a little bit of metal taste in my mouth, which is my sign for medications. And I feel like more in the throat, so kind of smoky. I don't know if he was a smoker, but he has like a hoarse breath. Oh.
Okay, could be his dad.
So not your grandfather?
Not my well, could be either or.
He's staying. It's your grandfather. He's staying right around there.
My grandfather. Okay.
Yeah. And the sawdust.
He liked to build stuff with wood. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. That's his way of confirming that it's him.
Okay.
Because I asked, just another detail so you know.
Okay.
And are you by a barn or horses?
No.
What is the barn? What is the barn? That's where he's staying, around the barn.
Well, they had animals.
Okay. Another way he's showing who he is, just to connect you. He's saying the barn, the barn, the barn. Okay. Perfect. So, I know you're working a lot, correct?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Like a lot. Like I feel like that's your haven to be outside of the house. You understand? And that's why I feel like the whole house, I feel like it's so stressful for you guys. Are you empty nesters too? That's what he's showing me, like empty nest?
No.
So what's the empty nest? You still have somebody at home?
Yeah, we have a daughter at home.
Is that what you were waiting for then? For her to grow up? Like, why is he showing me empty nest?
I don't know. She's still young. She's 10.
Okay. I'm not sure why he's staying with that empty nest. It's like broken conversation sometimes. Yeah. But I'm feeling like I don't know if that's you were hoping that you would make it, so she was out of the house before you would make that decision, but that's kind of what I was feeling like. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. But I feel like you're drowning, and that I feel like you guys need help. So the communication skills, I feel like if you can get maybe some therapy, that would be so lovely.
Okay.
Understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like if you could open up the communication skills and not be so afraid to talk, like to use your voice and to be heard, because I don't feel like you're being heard. But then again, in order to be heard, we have to be willing to take down our guard a little bit, and that's what I'm feeling for you. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. And I hope you have a wonderful night, Kathy.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye, honey. That was a really hard thing for her, I'm sure. It was a lovely call. These are not always easy connections to make, right?
Well, that you're already experiencing, it by yourself, and then to bring it out in the open, and discuss with people. I guess that's the next step to help get you towards, some resolution.
Right, and sometimes that resolution is hard to see when we're in it, when we're really in the thick of it, right?
Right.
When I did this reading while I was in Turks and Caicos for a woman, lovely phone reading, and she was referred to me from a friend, and she was so lovely, but she was so much in pain, physically and emotionally. She had lived her whole life, and I literally mean her whole life, because her brother died. She was 7, he was 5, and she saw him die. So that grief stayed with her, and she's in her 50s her entire life. So her body, because she wasn't able to work through her grief, she lived with blame and shame, and she just wasn't able to have good marriages or to have good relationships, because she didn't trust that the man wasn't going to hurt her or leave her. So her body began to kind of fall apart. So we were able to talk about the different things that she could do to regain balance. And she said, well, where do I start? And so we always start with our prayer. And that's the most important thing. So, one of my tips I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is when we get in that desperate place, and we don't have to be in a desperate place, but that's, we call that rock bottom, or that place where we're so uncomfortable we can no longer live like this, and we feel like we have to have a change. So what do we do? And I had this recently too, where it wasn't extreme, but I was feeling like, oh, well, maybe I'm gonna kind of throw the towel in on some of the business. I wasn't sure if I was going to take stuff a bit apart, or, I was working so hard and so diligently on creating a marketing plan, and I do it all myself. I do have my cousin who does my artwork and my graphics, but for the most part, I'm, on there building my website. I'm creating the graphics. I'm writing the copy. It's just a time-consuming thing. So I was feeling completely burnt out. Like, I'm not helping anybody. That was what fear told me. You're not helping anybody. What are you doing? So it was a perfect time that we actually went away, because I just needed to stop. So I set myself up before I left, and I stopped. And when I got there, I used my yoga mat as my meditation area. So that's my meditation pillow. And I hit the yoga mat, and I stayed there. And I stayed with the feelings I was having, and I didn't run. And that's a hard thing to do, because sometimes we are not understanding our feelings, and that's when maybe we'll go and we'll talk to a friend, and we'll lose sight of that feeling, and it'll go into something bigger, or we'll ignore it and we'll push it off and we won't take care of it. But if we can stay right there with that feeling and then grab our journal, we can get it out of us. So we can express it, and we can literally feel that one thing that we're holding on to. And that's how we can discover if it's really ours, if it's fear-based, if fear is telling us a lie if we're not seeing compassionately. It tells us a whole story. So, hitting that meditation pillow or that yoga mat and then staying with the feeling, those are important steps. Big, big steps. So that woman who I spoke to on the phone, the woman who had lost her brother, we talked about her being able to know he was safe because he came through, he stood by her side. And the ironic thing is when he came through as a grown man and not as a child, to let her know, to share with her that everything, I'm sorry, Casey's texting me and now I'm totally lost. Oh, he says he has to let the dog out. That's hysterical. Okay, Case, you go let the dog out. So I totally lost my whole train of thought. That is just how that goes. But okay, so guilt, grief can come in many different forms. So, Kathy, I'm sure that you're feeling some of those emotions too. So maybe we can get you to that yoga mat. And anybody else that's listening that you're struggling in an area in your life, how can we help you? How can we get you to that yoga mat where you can sit and be with those feelings and stay with them? Casey, welcome back. We missed you.
Thank you.
You texted me and I was in this train of thought and I saw you text me and I was like, oh, and I totally lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was.
I apologize, but without our video, I gotta.
KJ says, "Lucky." What?
I said, without our video, we don't have that same communication.
Yeah, exactly. It throws me a little bit. KJ texted that Lucky and Michael are listening, and they're asking prayers for their friend Michael, their friend Michelle. For their friend Michelle. So we're going to send prayers. Everybody asked to send prayers for Michelle, and a big shout out to Lucky and Michael. And I will keep Michelle in my prayers as well. And Lucky is our beautiful artist who sings, and she wrote and she sings the Angels Don't Lie song that you heard before the program, and I love her. She's amazing. Lucky, you're amazing. She's a cool rock star, badass kind of girl. All right, so let's talk a little bit about those hot tips again. I want to give them to you in order. So when you have something going on and you're not sure what to do about it, you hit the yoga mat. This is tip number 1. We get right to the yoga mat, to the meditation pillow, wherever you can go to sit and be quiet. Boom. Tip 1. Tip number 2, stay with the feeling or the emotion and journal it out. So stay with your stuff, hang out with it, and just get it out of you. Just witness it. That's tip number 2. And tip number 3, while you're there, you're going to let it go. Once you get it all out of you, once you've poured out your feelings, whether they're tearful, whether they're joyful, when you get them out, you're going to leave it there with God. Because before you get up, you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because if you walk away before doing that, you're going to carry that same tune and you're going to find yourself depleted again. So you have to be able and be willing, we have to be willing to leave it there with God so God can take it and transfer it and take and give you love instead. Great, important, and works every time. He's going to try that. He's probably trying that right now. That's why he's really quiet. Oh, we have a caller?
Yeah, and plus I've been reading that Let Go chapter, and that was part of my question tonight.
See that? You didn't even have to ask me, and I just give it to you.
Yes. All right, so I want to bring this caller online.
All right. Okay, perfect.
Hey, it's Lucky. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Casey.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Lucky, my girl, how are you?
I'm doing great. And thank you so much for saying some prayers for my friend Michelle. She's battling the C word at this point for the third time, and she is my photographer. She's very talented and beautiful on the inside as well as on the out, and she's just been going through such a rough time. And I don't think, I think the more prayers, the better.
And she just did those awesome photos of you?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
My gosh. She's incredible.
Yes. Oh,
well, you're incredible, so she captured you.
Thank you so much. You are too. She's been battling this for about 4 or 5 years now, but now the little tumors are coming back. They're not growing, but they're not leaving either with the chemo and the radiation. So I'm just praying. I don't know.
I do feel like they've been awakened. I do feel like they were kind of, I want to say, they're showing me like kind of quiet. They weren't like active, but now I feel like they're kind of active. So, but and they're not in one place, correct?
No, they're not.
Yeah. And they telling me she can definitely use some castor oil on top of them to help to shrink them and take them away. But for her, and I'm going to be honest, she has to do a radical diet change. Yeah, because she's in that need of like, she has swallowed so much stress her whole life. It's all about for her. It's all about, it's eating and the stress, and it all goes hand in hand for her.
Oh, you're so right. You are so right. She has been nothing but stress, but
you're the angel. You're the angel deliverer. So you're the message, that she needs to hear. She needs somebody to say it to her, like. And they're telling me to tell you, like, they don't want you to sugarcoat this. Like, she's not the kind of person to sugarcoat. You got to be like, they're like, just tell her. Like,
I'm the one. I'm the one that shoots her right between the eye all the time. Wakes her up because she was at my house this week, and she was eating a lot of junk and a lot of sugar, and but I think you're right. I think it's time to readjust her diet. I think that you're 100% correct that it's time to go radical on this. And the castor oil, I do believe that Edgar Casey was a big, big advocate for that, and you saying it just clarifies it for me.
Right. So it's a great tool for anybody to use if you have a cyst. If you have, I use it even for like digestion when my gallbladder feels like I've maybe had too much fat or can't digest something. I'll put the castor oil right over top of that, and it really helps to take that down. I've used it I get cysts on my ovaries all the time, takes them right away. So it's a really amazing.
I didn't even think of that. I do too. I get cysts on my ovaries, and now that you mention it, I'm going to, maybe there was 2 messages involved in tonight, one for her and one for me. So, and you're my angel.
Yeah, castor oil with a little heating pad, you got a great remedy.
Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna have to tell her this. I'm gonna have to rope her down and put it on her if she says no. That's it.
There you go.
She's refusing chemo, so she's gonna have to listen now. That's it.
Is it her like she's got it? There's a heavy accented woman coming through. Do you understand that? And that she's the one.
Well, it could be. It could be for her, but then again, it could be for me. So I'm not sure. I don't know her family that well.
Well, whoever this woman is talking all about, like, she's showing me the list, and she keeps showing me the list. Like, tell her about the list. She needs the list. She needs to go through these foods. She's like got her accident. She's like showing me she needs to do all of these things.
Oh wow!
Which are like, taking the sugar out, adding the spirulina, getting the mushrooms in her body. Without a doubt, she needs like the mushrooms, the reishi and the shaga, and I feel like it would change her like completely.
Would that be like in raw form, or should she cook it or boil it or?
So, for shaga, you need to. It needs to. You don't boil shaga. You do a slow simmer, and when you slow simmer shaga, you release. That's when you're releasing all the healing properties of it, and you get it from a source where it's already been from a fallen tree because it has more healing spores inside of it, and very anti-cancer, anti-tumor, huge medicine for her.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I'm going to write this down as I speak with you, as I'm talking to you. Yeah, because I never knew that about mushrooms. Honestly, I always thought, to me, mushroom is a fungus, and I know with fibromyalgia, they tell me not to eat it. They tell me don't eat mushrooms. But for someone like her, it's probably...
These are tree mushrooms. These are tree mushrooms, and there is a difference between the tree mushroom and... because for fibromyalgia, they are wonderful because they're anti...
Wow.
Yeah, so these particular mushrooms, the reishi, the chaga, and there's a whole other list of them, but these are two of my favorites. They'll work to take the inflammation away.
I gotcha.
To reduce that body ache and pain.
Oh, my goodness, this is amazing. You're amazing, I swear to God. You really are. You're my sister from another mother. You really are.
I say it all the time, right?
Yes, and I totally believe it.
I know. We have to hang out. You need to come up again.
I am definitely coming up. Well, absolutely. You're welcome anytime. Anytime. My door's always open. I definitely have to come there, though, because I have to do KJ's mom's song. So I definitely get to see you guys again.
I cannot wait to hear, too. I've been waiting for, a little sample of it. I haven't gotten it, so I need to hear that.
Yeah, I have to send her a better sample because I actually sent her a harmony instead of the basic voice, so I have to put them both together and then send it. So, but it'll be soon. So hopefully, you won't be busy that day, and we'll get to hang.
Yeah, as long as I'll block it off. Yay!
Yeah, yay! So
all right. Well, listen.
Call in. Yes,
you have my number, and if she wants to talk to me, we can set that up.
I definitely will. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. I will give her this message tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, honey.
God
bless you.
God bless you, too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's our beautiful Lucky Gambino. So I also want to share, let's talk about the nutritional tip. Do you want to do that, Casey? Are you excited? Or do you want to ask your question about Let It Go?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit, my question was more about blocking, or a hidden block type thing, and how you might go about seeing if you have one. That was in chapter 5. I was reading about the blocks.
Okay, so when we sit with that, just like I talked about earlier tonight, when we stay with our feeling or our emotion, which we talked about how difficult that is for guys because men don't usually pay attention to that. They're taught to maybe not pay attention, right? To shove it down, push it aside. And women, we sometimes over-exasperate it because we pick up our friends and we make it bigger and it gets more conflicting. So, but when we stay with that emotion or that feeling, it can tell us a story. And then we start to understand a little bit. And it's not going to come all at once, the block. It's not going to be like, bam, here it all is. But piece by piece, it's like a puzzle. We have to uncover one and then another and then another. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So taking your time and sitting on that meditation or that yoga mat and being still and pick one thing that you're feeling and stay with it. So one thing, it's not like, it's not going to be like, answering the whole marriage question.
Right.
But maybe rather than going to that whole marriage question, we could slow it down to say, why am I uncomfortable to speak? Why is my stomach upset? So we do one thing at a time. And then that one thing can lead us to the next thing. So, for instance, when I was thinking, these feelings like I'm not helping anybody. So I sat with that for a little while because the reason I was feeling that was because I was doing so much work that wasn't really for me to be doing. I was wearing myself out from doing all the background work and not being in the forefront, taking care of my clients and doing my radio show, the things that I really love to do. And so I wasn't finding joy in them because I was taking so much time to do all the back stuff. So I decided that sitting there on that yoga mat when I poured out all those feelings and those emotions of being tired and worn out and just poopy, that's what was really the story. It wasn't that I'm not being of service and helping people. It's that I really am. I'm just not being of service to myself. So now I have to honor myself. So now I've decided I'm going to reach out and hire people to do some of the back stuff so I don't have to do that. So I don't have to be exhausted and I can stay where I need to stay. Does that make sense?
Sure does. If you, as they even say in your life, if you try to do too much, you don't take time for yourself, you end up not being able to help the people around you, the ones you love. You either fall sick or something else.
No matter what we're doing. So whether we're a stay-at-home mom, whether we work for AT&T, whether we're a nurse, no matter where we are in our life, it's the same thing. We just have to slow down and be still long enough to understand what's going on. And we're multifaceted people. We don't do just one thing. So we have different relationships and different aspects of our life. And we're always going and going and going. So last week, that's why we talked about the art of doing nothing. Why do we do nothing? Why do we take time off? Why is it important to have a nap or not work on a Sunday? It's important to be still with yourself. Because if you can't stand to be with yourself, why is anybody else going to stand to be with you?
Good point.
So let's talk a little bit about my nutrition tip, because this is a good one. And this is one of my go-tos no matter what. Winter, spring, summer, fall, this is my go-to. If I feel a virus coming on, if I feel a head cold, a sinus, or if my ears get clogged, I wear hearing aids, so I get a lot of, my ears will get clogged often. So my tip is elderberry. And so I like elderberry syrup. That's one of my favorite ways to take elderberry. But elderberry it dates back to like prehistoric times. They have found it they found it in Egypt, they found it in India. So it's very well known in the healing world, and it is one of the top antiviral herbs around. So for cold, flu, even for nerve pain, for inflammation, for chronic pain, for constipation, and for cancer, elderberry is an amazing tool to use. You can use it within 48 hours of the onset of the virus, and it will lessen and reduce the symptoms by at least 3 to 4 days. So that's an amazing thing right now, what's going on, right? With so many people getting the flu and getting colds or getting stomach bugs. If you were to just take a daily dose of elderberry, you could ward that off. You could just fight it off so it doesn't even come to you. So it also has flavonoids because elderberry is a dark purplish blue berry. So those flavonoids are what connect to the influenza virus in your body, and it connects to it and it can stop it from spreading and wreaking havoc on you. It also works really well with sinus infections. It can also, other things that it's great for is lowering blood sugar, and it can be used as a diuretic. You can definitely take too much of elderberry, so you have to watch it, and because it will relieve constipation. So the opposite of constipation is going to be, you're going to be running to the bathroom. But for me, when I first feel the onset of something coming on, I'll take the elderberry every 2 hours. I'll take a tablespoon, and then I'll back it down. So I get like a big dose in, and then I'll back it down to twice a day, 2 or 3 times a day. You can take it in a tea. They have it in liquid form. You can find it, I think, in powder and even in capsules. But my favorite really is to take it in a syrup form. And I don't buy one that has extra sugar. I buy one that's either sugar just its simple self, or maybe it has honey. It's been made with honey. So you have to watch and read the labels, because some of them are made with like high fructose corn syrup, and that's going to do the opposite. It's not even going to help you. So elderberry. Have you ever tried elderberry, Case?
I have not. I like the berries, though. I like the blueberries, the blackberries, so I can imagine I'd like it. But I was just looking at it on the internet as you're talking about. I see like a little, almost like a cough syrup bottle.
Picture of it?
Yep. Well, I see pictures
right.
of it, but it comes in a bottle form like you would get a little NyQuil or something like that. So.
Yeah, I like to get mine at the health food store, because you can buy the one that has, that's been made either locally, which is a great one if you can get a local elderberry, which is a nice thing, and make sure that, you read the ingredients, that there's no added sugar, because sugar is going to actually make the virus grow. So we don't want to feed it. We want to, take that away. So it's definitely something that I keep in my cabinet all year round. I sent my daughter to college with it. She takes the elderberry. My husband has some at work, which is great. And my daughter has some for her kids, too. They make a children's elderberry syrup as well. So the local health food stores are great for that. I think CVS has a natural one now, too, which is kind of cool. Or wherever you go, just make sure that it's like an organic or naturally made one. So there you have it. That's my hot tip.
That's awesome.
What I have for you today. How's that?
There's some news flashes on here about using it to fight the flu. Go figure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was talking about it. That's why I wanted you to know. That's what I wanted you to know. So on my Facebook Live yesterday, I was talking about how to get to know yourself, because part of that, like Doldrum we'll get into, is we can sometimes get lost and not know the direction in which to go. And I was talking to this gal, Samantha, who was wondering if she, should stop doing her current job. And she really loves what she does, but she's not finding any reward. It's not really getting her anywhere. And that's kind of that doldrum, like, you're not making enough money, you're not going forward, nothing seems to be fulfilling. So I made this form for you guys, which if you'd like it, I'd love to send it to you. And you just have to send me an email to Jeannie@JeannieStreet.com and just ask for the avatar form. And it's just an avatar form. And in this avatar form, it's a way to get to know yourself. And you can use this avatar form to really understand your likes, your dislikes, your own habits. And then what you do with that is that you can meditate with that. You can journal with that. You can take that conversation with yourself a little bit bigger and see where maybe is your faith lacking in yourself, because maybe God isn't involved in that part of your life, and maybe God can come into that part of your life. And where you may be forcing and going it alone. So this avatar form can also be used in business. It can be to build your perfect client that you want to connect with, or your perfect boss that you want to meet. So you can use this form in many different ways. So I think it's a cool thing. And actually it actually is part of the Goddess University, but I wanted to send it to people and help them to get to know themselves in a different way. It's kind of a fun way. You know what I'm saying, Casey?
You'll
see it if you take the spiritual, if you're in the spiritual entrepreneur.
Okay.
Class. Yeah. It's within that particular one. But in that class, we're not doing it for our own personal selves. We're doing it with, the business aspect, how to create your perfect customer or your perfect client. Right. You're so talkative tonight.
I was when we were doing our tip 1, 2, 3, and you were talking about writing it down and all that stuff. It brought me back to a chapter or a page that I'd read in the book about when you do write it down, write the truth. and don't judge. And then build,
yes,
then do
because we are our biggest judge, right?
Right, because if you can't write the truth to yourself, who are you going to write the truth to, right? And then the ceremonial fire, right. Take that piece of paper and burn it up and get rid of it. But let it, like you said, let it go. Get it out of your system.
You like that too, don't you?
Yes. Well, guys like fire. We like to build a fire.
It's true. I know.
So
both my boys are firemen. They really do. So there's a quote, I shared it in the Goddess You as well, from Eckhart Tolle, and he's a very famous spiritual teacher. And in his book, The Power of Now, his quote is, "We create and maintain problems because they give us a sense of identity. Perhaps this explains why we often hold on to our pain far beyond its ability to serve us." I think that's a big one, right?
Sure
we
is.
hold on to something long after it's needed to be there. And another one I shared, which I really like this one too. It's under the get your Queen Goddess on. It says, "Love yourself first and everything falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world." Lucille Ball. So if you don't take the time to stay there with those feelings, with those emotions, and just work it through and see yourself as love, then it's going to be the struggle. And that's my last tip for tonight that I want to share with you, is the practice of positive affirmations and why this works. So you can either write them on a sticky note, which I definitely talk about in the book, or you can, I wrote mine in my journal, and then I've been going through and saying them every single morning when I wake up. So that just like simple affirmations like, "You are loved," "I am worthy," I am love, I can share love, like whatever that affirmation is, like I can get through the day today, everything's going to be okay, like reminding yourself that you're safe, you're okay, God's with you. So by doing that every single day, by doing a positive affirmation, you're inviting happiness, you're inviting more joy, you're inviting God in, so you don't have to go it alone. So I think that's a big message. We don't have to go it alone. It's amazing. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us over here on KBJB Radio tonight. And, I just appreciate you all. And again, we're going to keep our prayers open for all of you, for Michelle and for Cheryl and her family. And if you'd like to join us on Facebook and hang out with us, check us out on Angels Don't Lie. It's a private group, and we'll let you in. We'll let you right in. All right, guys, I am going to sign off. This is Jeannie Street, and I know what I know, because angels don't lie. See you next week. Same time, same channel. Bye-bye.